welcome back to Calling Out Your Team. Going over the hardwood here for some NBA talk. Uh, Obviously, a conversation the last few weeks. Really the whole season around one of the more historic franchises, the Los Angeles Lakers. In their last game, 21-point blowout to the Clippers, 132-111 final. Kind of slowly closing the door on their season here is what it seems like it's coming to, as they've now lost their fourth straight game. LeBron James isn't doing enough to obviously put the team on his back like he was able to a month or two ago. And also when you get closer to playoff time here, as teams find their groove with rotations and just teams that are getting hot, one guy can't do it all, even if you are LeBron James. Also to add to that, Anthony Davis still being out. Obviously, the team isn't like better without him, but they're also not going to turn it around and go on a 10-game win streak as soon as he comes back. He just doesn't have that it factor since he's come to LA, as far as a guy who can take over a game, and especially sharing the floor with LeBron and Russell Westbrook, some guys who like to have the ball in their hands to dictate the game, things like that. It's harder to be that takeover guy. And then lastly, the name I just mentioned, Russell Westbrook. Some interesting news coming out about if a potential offseason move for him to go elsewhere from the Lakers. There's mutual interest in the two sides parting ways once the season comes to an end. Obviously, in recent weeks, his play has just declined more and more, with going, less than 20% from the floor, major turnovers, just not playing like, even at like average play for him would look great compared to how he's playing right now. And as I mentioned, with how this team is right now, losing four straight, it just seems like a snowball effect right now. I think that we could see a very different Lakers team come next season. Frank Vogel maybe being gone. Who knows what they do with Anthony Davis? He's been kind of a Band-Aid. He's constantly hurt. He's been hurt so many times this season. LeBron James, obviously the conversation around him potentially linking up with his son once his son comes into the league, which that's not for a couple of years yet. But obviously if LeBron realizes there's not a long-term, nothing long-term for him to stay in LA, maybe he moves this offseason as well, and Bronny tries to join him wherever he goes next. So, yeah, with the Lakers losing four straight, I think they're still kind of in the running for the play-in tournament, but even if they somehow sneak in as the last seed into the actual playoffs, I see them getting swept 4-0. Maybe they win a game, 4-2 at the most, to force a game six. But this Lakers team has just not been it this year. They maybe had 1 or 2 week stretch at one point of the season where it's like, okay, they look decent, but also that's when they were turning over the ball the least that they have been, and they just were like pushing the pace and playing they're already the fastest paced team this league this season. And during that stretch, it seems like they upped that even more, to where they realize the only way we win games and can consistently win games is when we get to the 128 to 126, or we edge out a team. Like, they don't have very good defense. They're in the bottom handful of teams in the league defensively. So obviously this Lakers team has a lot to figure out this offseason, and even between now and the end of this season. It'll be interesting to see what kind of moves they make. So thank you for tuning in. As always, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. Like, comment, check out my other videos talking about the NFL and the NHL as well. And I'll see you next time.